Welcome to 4 Geeks by Geeks, where geeks come to geek out. I am your master of ceremonies, T, and I am super excited to bring you into our new campaign, currently known as Pandora's Box. I'm sure I'll come up with a better title later.
Ooh, I like it.
We'll decide. We are about to dive into the City of Pandora in our established world of City of Mist, where our new adventurers, I don't even know if they're going to be heroes, to be honest, where our players are going to interact in a world not like our own, because they are embedded into the myths and tales that we have all grown up to either love or hate, because they're about to come to life. With that being said, as always, with me is Boser.
Yo, 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 yo! I have no idea what's about to happen, and I'm here for it. Oh, am I supposed to say something special?
Yep.
Oh,
all right, so Boser, who are you playing, and give us our character fact for the day.
I'm playing Cornelius Averdelius III, but my friends call me Dell. And he is a repair shop owner and really good at fixing and making shit out of nothing. A fun fact for Dell is he is your run-of-the-mill thirst trap. And
run-of-the-mill with one arm.
Run-of-the-mill.
All right, continue.
Oh, he only needs one arm to get you reeled in. He's got one arm to the naked eye, and he'll fuck anything that moves.
Jesus. Family-friendly content.
And with me most Thursdays, Jeff says, I want to know, how do you follow up that very interesting fun fact about our Dell?
Far more boring and tame. I will be playing. I had a little bit of a decision change after last session, referring to Andre as a he. I realized, Andresh.
They, them?
Yeah, Andresh is they, them. Probably.
Let me make a note of that. Thank you.
Probably gender fluid more than just like non-binary. It just kind of takes on whichever one feels right that day. And they are a Taurus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dell's gonna have some good times with Andresh.
This is getting real interesting real quick.
Oh, real quick, if we didn't end up uploading session 0 for people to see, Andresh is a reserved and curious person. A broker of information, someone who tries to gather as much information on the city around them as they can, and then sell that information to those who may be interested in it.
I'm liking this.
Yeah.
All right, and we've got our special guest star for this arc. We've got Alex back.
Woo! Hello. I'm not gonna parse too many words. I'm playing Colin Blackfoot, and I am an ex-con, and Colin has spent the last 15 years in prison, and he is 32. So he's never had a driver's license. He's got a learner's permit, which expired several years ago, about a decade ago. So he has to be taught. He's going to driver's lessons to be taught how to drive. Yeah.
That's fun.
In the city, there's public transit in the city.
That's his thinking
absolutely.
too. He's like, I don't need this, but it would be nice to learn how to do it. So
Valid. And last but not least, and he's last because he just hasn't even finalized his character. We're on episode 2, technically, of City of Mist here. He still doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You know him. Sometimes you love him. We've got Lucas.
So, last fun fact is my character is still not made. We're winging it. No, I'm playing Detective Spencer Cooper, and as he's... Let's see, how do I want to say this? So he's not necessarily the senior guy, but he's a senior guy. He's been on the police force for 10 years now. So that's 2 years before the Mist, and then 8 years now dealing with the Mist. And the fun fact is he may have been recruited in the early years of the Mist to help with some problems.
Oh, let's see how that plays out. Before we get started, any questions before we dive in? Any comments? Any concerns?
So many. Just so many.
The only real question is, what am I doing?
We're
I
going to
ask myself
find
that
out.
every day.
For all of you coming to the channel to learn what City of Mist is about, welcome. Join us, because we
Yeah.
don't know either. We're learning
Join the
with
club.
you.
We're all gonna learn together.
All right, you guys ready to kickstart this campaign?
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Let's go.
Like, rip the Band-Aid off.
They say the Big Apple is the city that never sleeps, but they've clearly never come across the city surrounded by mist. Shit, how could they? They'd never want to leave. Well, they'd never get to leave. Not sure if I should be jealous or if I should envy them. The city is nothing but potential, just not necessarily good potential. The city is an enigma wrapped in irony. It's a world ripped away from itself, but also independent from the outside cosmos. I can't explain it to you. You'd have to be there to get it. The best I have to offer is telling you that these tales that help you, and I need to wake you up from this slumber. I need to wake you up from this dream, this nightmare, this mistaken reality you find yourself living in. Stop listening to your mind tell you that there's nothing there when you see a shadow sprint across the room out of the corner of your eye. Run as hard as you can up that flight of steps the moment you turn the light off. Ignore the voices crying out for you by name as you hike through the woods to get that picture-perfect sunset. The reality that you think you're living in is not real, but they are. I want you to be scared, but I don't want you to be hopeless. You're not defenseless from the things that go bump in the night. Accept the mist, awaken the true potential locked inside of you. I can't tell you it's going to be okay, but I can tell you that it's going to be worth it. Potentially. Wake up. Who would like to be brought into the City of Mist first?
Nose goes.
Oh.
Or I think that was Jeff. That was Jeff's.
Dang it.
Jeff sits. So we established in session 0 that when you are not in your apartment, you are in the same building on a higher floor in your office.
To clarify, though, the same building is not... It doesn't mean the same thing that it does in our world, in a generic building or a city. Because Andresh lives in the Neon District, or the Neon Pillars District of the city, which is 400-plus story tall skyscrapers, neon skyscrapers that disappear up into the clouds, which really, in this city of Pandora, is just the mist, or the dome of the mist that surrounds the entire city. Each one of these skyscrapers is a block, is a block in and of itself that just goes up as tall as possible and are interconnected by bridges and skyways. And so each building,
Pillar.
yeah, is a almost a district in and of itself, but interconnected. And think very cyberpunk. Like,
Very.
the area in between the city, in between the buildings, has catwalks and walkways and everything connected between them, and has courtyards elevated hundreds of feet above street level. So just because I stay in the same building doesn't necessarily mean it's the same place.
Right. So we have established that Andres is a very tech-savvy individual.
Yes.
Meaning so that your apartment would be technically sound. You would know anything that's going on. And you get an alert on your watch. An alert you really never thought you would see because you have an intruder.
Well, that's not good, is it?
But as you check the camera, it's just a dark figure standing in the middle of your open loft. Not looking into anything, not moving, just standing there, looking out the window.
Andresh types a couple of commands into their watch and summons up probably half a dozen of their Raven drones.
Okay.
To keep an eye, because at this point I'm not in my loft, correct?
Correct.
I'm in
yeah,
the broker's
we're talking
loft.
middle of the afternoon, so you would be in the broker's space.
Okay. So yeah.
And so that's why this would be so alarming to Andres right now.
Yeah, this is setting off all sorts of alarm bells and everything, and so going to pull up several Raven, like half a dozen Raven drones to circle around the loft on the outside, or not, the apartment, Andresh's apartment on the outside, and both outside the building to try and keep an eye on windows, as well as outside the apartment itself in the hallways and stairways, in front of the elevator, and just have them posted up in the shadows to act as security cameras, just kind of
awesome.
Keeping an eye on the hallway. And then I'll make my way down there quickly, but more trying to keep eyes off of me.
Okay.
Than anything.
Yeah.
And once I am away from the broker's loft, I'll take the LED mask off that I used to hide my identity as the broker, because if I'm going back to my apartment, I don't want anyone to be able to connect Andres to the broker.
Fair enough. So yeah, as you are making your way through literally dozens of stories, catwalks, and walkways, you eventually make your way to the hallway that your entry door obviously is in.
Okay.
Since the notice of your watch came through, the figure in your apartment hasn't moved. I'm sure you've been keeping track as you've been walking through to see if there's something going to surprise you outside, what he's doing inside. Nothing has moved outside the alert that there's somebody in your apartment.
Could I try and on the way back, and as I get closer, I would like to use both the cameras,
okay,
both the drones, and my training for Kali, and specifically use the tag Eye for Detail and the power tag for my turf, the Raven drones.
Okay.
To make an investigation check to try and figure out how they entered my apartment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. So that's going to be this is the first roll of the game, isn't it?
First roll.
Roll of the
So
campaign.
2d6.
Let's see, 2
2d6.
1s.
And I get to add 2 to whatever.
You'll
I end
have
up-
a 2 power tag. Yep.
Cool. All right. Here we go then. Oh, that's not bad at all. So that's okay, not great though. So that is a 6 plus 1 plus 2 for a total of 9.
6 plus 1 plus 2.
So I rolled a 6 and a 1.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
And then
now.
add
Yep.
2 for the power tag,
All
so
right,
a total of
so
9.
let me pull up. Gotta pull up the right book here so I can look at investigation so I can dictate what information.
This is getting exciting already.
I know. I'm looking at the.
When I use
player
my
moves
abilities
sheet.
to seek answers to burning questions, I roll plus power. On a hit, I get clues equal to power. That's what
Okay.
the player moves says on here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, and I need to make a cheat sheet for myself because I'm still scrolling trying to find it.
Oh, bear with us all, because it's going to be a lot of scrolling.
Just until we get...
Right on.
Yeah.
We'll settle into our characters.
In session 0, you gave a page number for the kind of go-to player guide in the PDF. Do you remember what that was?
147?
Okay, thank you.
All right, so investigate. On a 7 to 9, you can choose one. Your investigation exposes you to a danger. The clues you get are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, false. Whoever or whatever you are asking the questions can ask you one question as well. You answer on the same term. So which investigate result would you like to take?
And that's I don't know which results I'm looking at. I'm sorry. I just
Okay,
have.
so that's on page 192.
Okay.
Look at the yellow tag that obviously says investigate.
So I choose one of the 3 bullet points there?
Correct, and that's going to dictate the information you derived from that
Okay.
investigate check.
I'll say my investigation exposes me to danger.
Okay.
I'll take the risk. No, I can't, because that's not in character. They're too careful. So instead, I'm going to say the clues I get are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false.
Okay. So with one of your drones that you were observing while you were making your way back, your drones are fairly technologically advanced, right? So I don't know if you guys have played like the Arkham Knight series.
Yeah.
A big part of the game is the detective mode, where you get to zoom in on key features here. So this shot is going to be, you were working on, I'm assuming you've got what, like a wrist tablet that you kind of operate off of?
Yeah, we'll say that this is super cyberpunky, and so think like your typical smartwatch.
Yep.
Andresh does wear it working man's style. So
On the
instead of
bottom side?
Yeah, so instead of it being on the outside, it's on the inside of the wrist.
I dig it.
What they'll do is they'll pull it up there, but then they've got a way to extend it so that it kind of like it's a screen. It breaks in half.
A screen on your wrist,
Yeah,
like
so
on your forearm.
It
Nice.
breaks in half, and so the first part stays where it is. The second part scrolls up to like almost the elbow. So then there's an extended screen across the entire elbow
Solid.
of like
Dope.
the foldable glass that's coming out now in real life, and it kind of works like that across the entire wrist.
I like that a lot. So as you're looking at your forearm, going through that, one of your Raven drones does the little circular ocular zoom in as it focuses in, and you can see on your door frame, it wasn't a break-in. Somebody got into your house, but they didn't damage anything in doing so. But on your little top lock, your deadbolt lock, there is traces of the mist kind of dancing off of it. As you would be able to indicate, he had some type of device that just unlocked your front door and they just let themselves in.
Okay.
His mythos
so-
is, shit. I was trying to think of the Harry Potter unlock spell, and I lost it, and that joke is dead. Move on.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah, so you approach your front door. Your Raven drones have been sitting there patrolling. Like I said, the shadow figure has not moved.
And I'm not gonna actually approach through the front door. I'd like to make one more roll,
Okay.
or one more move, and sneak around and try and sneak in through one of the windows.
Okay. So this is a big thing that needs to be emphasized in the game. Tell me how you are doing the action. Tell me what you're doing, then tell me the move, and that'll dictate the effect of the game.
Okay. So yeah, instead of going, like, I'm checking the cameras and everything and seeing that they went in through the front door and assuming that's how they expect me to go in, I would instead like to make my way along the courtyards and catwalks and walkways that lead along the outside of the or kind of the outside of the building.
Right.
And then after a while, I am
It's
going
presumed to have balconies and little walkways and terraces, and yeah, absolutely.
And so make my way along those, even if it means like jumping from
Yeah.
balcony to a balcony here or there.
Absolutely.
Drop down to the catwalk that is near one of my windows
Okay.
and make my way in. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily. I mean, I would leave them unlocked just because it is a window, and I've got the alarm
42
system.
feet up, so.
Yeah, and I've got an alarm system set up so that if someone does go in that way, it pings up similar to this. And so, yeah, I'll make my way, like, go from balcony to balcony, climb down,
Awesome.
and get onto the catwalk, open the unlocked window, and try and sneak in that way into the bathroom.
All right, let's get that roll. And then what power tags are you bringing to the roll?
For this one, I'll say, could I use my paranoia tag from the broker, from my personality theme, as this is kind of a route that I have set because I know I'm paranoid
that
someone might be.
Yeah,
I'm
I like
so
that.
paranoid that I always have a I've always had this back way in just in case.
Yeah, I dig it. I like it. I'll allow it.
Ooh, okay. So I rolled a 6 and a 3, so that's a 9 plus 1 for a 10.
So that's a 10. So that goes exactly as you planned. You've planned this scenario out in some sense of the fashion before.
I've done this once or twice.
Absolutely. So as you make your way through the scaffoldings, through the terraces, through the balconies, you finally find yourself on the catwalk leading into the window, I'm assuming opposite of where this shadowy figure is.
Yeah.
Being paranoid, I don't see Andres as somebody that would window directly eye contact, probably making his way through the far window, approaching through the shadows, right?
And get in through the bathroom.
Okay.
And grab, I mean, this is going to seem a little silly, but I'm going to grab the plunger in there, just so that I've got something as an improvised weapon, and just like I'm going to stick it against the wall just inside the doorway, and then open the door to the main area where they're standing.
Yeah, so with a 10, you are sneaking perfectly. At the moment, they are unaware of your presence. So how would you move forward from here?
I mean, once I open the door, there's not really anywhere. It's a minimalistic apartment, so there's not really anywhere to hide. So, like, I just want to make my way in here, set up the room so that I've got a weapon I can grab real quick, and then open the door. I think I'll just open the door and let it kind of like swing.
Okay.
So that they know that I'm there.
Gotcha.
And see what their reaction is.
Andres Ametz, I'm assuming you are here now, correct?
I'll step out. Yeah, sorry. Just had to use the restroom. And like kind of brush my hands as if I just washed them.
I'm impressed. You are a very difficult person to find. You're not what I was expecting from the broker, but I can see I respect the difference that you dictate between your two lives. Security system is top notch. I'm genuinely impressed.
I'm afraid you must have me confused for someone else.
See, I don't think I do. I am very good at knowing who is in this city because it's my job to protect the city. And whether you view yourself as a hero or a villain is neither here nor there, nor do I genuinely care because you haven't really crossed my desk in a way that I have to worry about you. But you know some people who know some people, and I need to get in touch with some of these people, so it's where this introduction comes across.
Then by all means, introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And you see, so this shadowy figure kind of reveals themselves into the light. They are dressed to the nines, pinstripe suit, cufflinks that probably cost more than your apartment, black shiny wingtips. You can tell this person is not only in politics, but the way they carry themselves, it's very obvious that they are a lawyer. And you've seen said lawyer before, because his face is plastered all over Pandora.
It's Saul Goodman. Sorry.
You find yourself standing before Pierce Snyder, Pandora's district attorney.
Pierce, could you spell that for me?
Yep, Pierce. Snyder, Snyder.
Thank you, Pierce Snyder, Pandora's district attorney.
Correct.
Cool. All right.
The genie, he's been making some serious moves, and I need your help taking him down.
What do I know of the genie at this point?
At this point, you don't know a lot. You've heard the name the genie, but much like the broker, they're kind of an enigma.
Okay.
Known to close associates, but you know the genie is, as what they say, is a wish granter. but you don't know, you haven't had any direct involvement because not a lot of people ask about them, because those who ask tend to disappear.
Okay. I've heard of this genie once or twice. Why do we need to make them disappear?
I have a 97% success rate. The only person I have failed to is the genie. I can't get the evidence I need legally to remove this parasite from Pandora. If I want to make the changes that this city deserves, the genie needs gone, and that's where you come in.
How exactly? Just standard contract? Finding information? Digging up this dirty laundry that you want to set out to dry?
Whether it's a RICO case or you catch him on murder, I don't care. I need evidence, and that's it. And he reaches into his breast pocket to pull out a business card.
As they reach into their breast pocket, Andresh, who is still leaning against the doorway to the bathroom, just like slides their hand over to the handle of the plunger that's still there. And then seeing it's a business card, takes it off and like recrosses their arms, leaning against the door frame. Why?
I'm gonna go ahead and leave this on the counter. You won't be alone. I've got a couple other people that I'm hiring for this that you'll be working with.
Okay. Why couldn't this be done with the broker? Why did you have to come to me instead?
I need you to understand that with my power, things are going to be allowed. Some things shouldn't be allowed that I'm gonna ignore. I'm exposing myself to you to let you know my involvement, to know that this isn't something you gotta worry about being crossed on.
Okay.
I'm being raw with you. I expect you to be raw with me. And we can just leave it at that. We are both just trying to help the city. I ignore your transgressions. You help me get rid of this cancer.
Sounds fair enough.
Again, great technology. I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Who are these others that I'll be working with?
We've got Colin Blackfoot, a felon that we'll see if he decides to amend his parole or not. Got some guy named Dell, and a detective that I'm sure is going to be not too happy to be seeing you. But location's on the back of the card. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Old District.
Colin Blackfoot, ex-con. He's the one I don't know him. Dell. Cornelius?
I believe so. Some repairman off on.
He's got connections to a smaller gang over in the foundry.
Okay. I don't know if I'd call them a gang. They're not really worth their salt, but...
Not yet, but there's people asking about them. They're rising.
I don't need to know that information.
And detective.
Spencer Cooper. Good luck with him.
Luck doesn't follow Detective Spencer Cooper.
If you have questions, call my cell phone. Do not call the office.
If I have questions, I'll figure out the answer myself.
That's what I like to hear. Until next time. And he is going to rebutton his jacket, and he's going to leave your apartment.
Yeah. Andres just says, "You clearly know the way in, so you should know the way out."
He simply gives you a behind-the-back wave, and I'm sure Andres, being the paranoid they are, probably watches him as he leaves down the hallway.
Yeah, pulls up the screens as they walk out of sight, just to make sure that they are walking all the way out.
Yep, he gives a quick wink to one of your Raven drones, but walks to the elevator, and then you see the doors close as he leaves.
and immediately starts like frantically typing new things into the Raven drones and setting up new security systems.
All right, and that is our scene for Andrej. Who would like to go next?
Do I already have to invoke one of my weaknesses here?
Which would be
Paranoia.
So no. So how the weakness works is in a scenario. So technically speaking, when you did that stealth roll, that paranoia should have been a weakness tag invoked if you wanted to. Invoking weakness is how you power up tags, but it needs to be stated when the move is done.
Okay, so I feel like we should either invoke paranoia or address the identity of the broker, because the personality theme, the broker theme card is a personality theme, and the identity of that is I know all about most to keep them from knowing me.
Right.
And so I feel like that would be a crack on that.
Not quite, because this is going to be a mystery added based around how does he know your identity.
Okay, so should I change it from the identity of I know all about most to keep them from knowing me to how does Pierce Snyder know that the broker is Andrej? Okay. I will change that then, and we can move on to the next scene.
Dope. Who would like to go next? Del, you are in the... What's the name of your shop?
Dale's.
Del's? Okay.
Dale's just...
Is Del
Dale's
And
repair
where is Del's located?
Dale's is located in the middle of the old district, and it's just kind of stuck between two other buildings, taller ones, but this is a little. It's 2 stories. It's got the shop on the main floor. It's got a basement below, but then above, that's got my little place where I stay. It's something small. It's 1 room. Got a bed up there and a little kitchen, bathroom. Not much, but I've survived worse, so it's more than I need. Than the shop
What does
on the main floor.
Del's shop look like?
So it's pretty simple. You walk on in, it's got a counter on the right side, but then just everywhere you see like random parts, and you see like gears and washing machines and vacuums and things that are just like broken or once were broken and fixed or haven't been picked up yet, and it's kind of cluttered. It's got things hanging on the ceiling and on the walls, and basically you can just bring on anything you need fixed, repaired. I can get it done in usually under an hour, but I let people think it takes a little longer.
So while Del is tinkering, you hear the bell above the entry door. And as you look up, you see a finely dressed man looking a little amiss as he peers around your shop, attempting to step over the mechanics of everything that has been puked all across Del's shop floor.
Oh, sorry about that, partner. I'll get that cleaned out of your way. Good afternoon. What can I do you for?
I'm actually here for you, Del.
Well, most people are. That's why you're in the shop. It's called Dale. It's my name.
Yeah. How's the foundry going?
And with keeping a smile on my face, I just kind of reach under the counter nonchalant and start tickling the handle of something underneath.
I thought you were going to say starts frantically pounding the panic button.
Boy, I am the panic button.
Yeah, whatever's under that counter there, you can relax. I'm not here to take you in. I'm here to hire you, for lack of a better term.
What you want with the foundry?
I want nothing to do with the foundry as long as you're willing to play ball.
Well, never was much of a sport player, but... And then I gesture to my missing right arm. Wasn't real good at kitchen.
You see him try to hide his smirk. The genie. What do you know about him?
What do I know about it?
Being a part of the Foundry, you would know that the genie has been a pain in the ass because the genie grants wishes to anybody. Doesn't matter. And typically when those who shouldn't have power tend to cause some issues. But who the genie is, where he's located, his motives, you have no idea.
Has he ever like granted wishes to some of the kids at the Foundry?
Yeah, you probably have some missing kids, some kids that you probably helped raise that went missing, only to be later seen wearing the genie's colors.
Okay, which are what? What are his colors?
Green.
My question, I was gonna say.
Interesting. Oh, well, genie's on my shit list, personally.
And how would you like to remove him from the equation?
Remove him how? Permanently?
I don't care. He's a cancer to this city, and I need him gone.
You got the hookup?
I've got whatever you need as long as you don't ask questions.
I got lots of questions, friends. But, I don't think... Well, maybe quite a few the genie could actually answer, but... You seem like you know quite a lot. Can I get your name?
And he pulls out a business card. Pierce Spector, Pandora.
And as he reaches in his breast
Pierce
coat,
Snyder.
I go tickle the handle of a plunger.
Pandora's district attorney.
Oh, yeah, you're that fella I seen up on them billboards and on that park bench. Shit, your face is everywhere.
Yep, running for mayor, so kind of need to get the name out there.
You want to run this shit town?
I want to save this shit town.
Well, I guess if you're gonna give me the hookup to the genie, you got more hookups.
I know enough people to get you taken care of.
Well, I've been kind of doing some things on my own for the last year, so it's nice to get somebody on the inside.
Tread lightly.
Friend, I only know how to tread one way.
A few blocks down, there's a meeting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Your associates will be there waiting for you.
My
if you're
associates?
interested.
You mean from the
Yeah.
Foundry?
No, you will not be bringing anybody in from the Foundry. I am providing you immunity and means, not the rest of your little ragtag group.
Listen, that's my family, friend. You got a problem with them, you got a problem with me, and you do not want a problem with me.
Your problem there is if I start investigating your Foundry, your papa and your little siblings there going to be spending time in the correction center, so I spend my time focusing on them, or you help me focus on the genie.
You run a hard bargain, buddy. I'll be there. What time? 7, he said.
7 o'clock, 2 blocks down at the factory.
Ooh. This is some real deal shit then.
If you have any questions, call my cell. Do not call my office.
If I got any... Just trying to quote Jeff Sitz.
And Snyder's going to turn on his heels and exit Dell's.
You come back if you need anything fixed, buddy. Tell your friends.
I'll get right on that. All right, Lucas, Alex. Nope, Lucas is next. Alex has already got the nose goes cold.
As I'm frantically writing
Just
stuff.
permanently.
Do you need? I can go if you don't want to go right now.
I can go. I can go. It's fine.
All right, so Lucas, detective, do you operate out of Pandora's police department, or are you a work from home type of guy, or you work at a coffee shop type of guy?
I'm probably a work from the office and work from home and work from. Chances are I probably take this with me. I'm usually like mulling over something, but yeah, you could find me at my office.
Okay, gotcha. And that is probably where the scene's going to take place. There's no knock. There's He's gonna, and I don't even have to segue in. You know Pierce Snyder personally, as a detective and as the district attorney. You guys have worked together dozens of times. And Pierce walks straight in, walks past your secretary because he doesn't care. He's speaking with you now, regardless of what appointments you have set. And Snyder walks directly into your office. You have anything on him yet?
What, you see this mess? I'm trying. I can't work magic.
So it sounds like you need some people to work with.
Information is always useful. People can be useful.
Great. You have a meeting tomorrow tonight, 7 o'clock.
You know I hate when you set these things up without, consulting me. What if I was gonna go out?
You weren't.
Okay, and like.
And so now you have a meeting.
Thanks. All right. Where? Who's gonna be there?
You've got the broker.
Okay.
On my way to go find.
That's useful, at least.
On my way to go find Blackfoot.
That. Okay.
And your favorite Dell.
Okay. Well, at least someone will have information. I don't know how reliable you think these other two are going to be. But,
I don't, and that's why you're in charge. Your task force, your problem.
Not my monkeys, not my circus.
Too late. They are now.
I don't even have, like, an assistant, really. Like, okay. 7 at the Foundry. I'll be there.
Good. Let me know what you come up with. Have fun with them.
Look, you're gonna owe me for this, because you know how painstaking this is gonna be.
I'm well aware, and I cannot wait to read how this plays out, because this is going to be better than whatever show I plan on watching this evening.
Oh, so do you plan on being there?
No.
Of course not. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll be there.
Oh, you're gonna show your face?
I've already revealed myself to Dell, and already received them to the broker. I'll let him decide if he or they would like to reveal their name to you or not. So,
Hey, you never revealed yourself to Dell. Dell would remember.
I'm assuming said broker is probably gonna keep this on the down low to protect, your image. So
that's correct. So
I guess
not name dropping them. How they reveal themselves is how they reveal themselves.
I guess I won't have to worry about getting jumped in the streets or anything like that. So, but all right.
That's probably not true, but that's for you to deal with.
But all right, I'll see you at 7, I guess.
Let's go find this con man.
Yeah, you go have fun with that.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna go back to scribbling notes and trying to get things together.
Out of curiosity, how organized is Cooper?
I would say bare minimum things are in the general location. Like these things are
Ballpark.
sure, but he's not super like tidy. He does have. I was flipping through this and I just set it down and moved on to the next thing, and it's not a mess, but it's not chaos.
Fair.
Like it's
controlled chaos.
It's messy enough to where it's like, man, this looks real bad, but I know where everything is.
Fair enough. As long as if it works for you, it works for you.
Okay.
All right, Colin Blackfoot, are you working this evening?
No, this is actually one of the nights off where he's getting he's just finishing up a driver's lesson. He's being taught at like the community center by somebody who's probably like 6 years younger than him. And he just sort of like he's just walking home.
So as Colin is walking home, you see a finely dressed man sitting on a park bench, patiently waiting for you. And you know he's waiting for you because he has not stopped staring at you until you came within vision distance, and you recognize this man because this is the same man that is responsible for your incarceration.
Cool. Gonna keep walking. Gonna just kind of take a look at it and... Yeah.
Mr. Blackfoot, a moment of your time, if you could.
I give you 15 years of my time. I think I'm good, and I'm gonna keep walking.
And I would like to take that little ankle monitor off. Wouldn't you like some freedom to enjoy this city?
That's a bold thing of you to offer me. You want to give me
I didn't
freedom?
kill a man.
Guess there's no point in denying it.
You didn't then. Why would you now?
What do you want?
You want your freedom back or not?
What's the gig? Is it
The
above
genie.
board?
No, it is not. But I can promise you what you do won't put you behind bars.
Heard that one before.
I did not promise that last time. Issues you have with other DAs and cops doesn't deal with me.
Yeah.
I want the genie gone, and I need somebody willing to skirt around moral compasses.
Why do you want the genie gone?
Can't run for mayor when there's cancers in the city.
Think the genie's the only cancer you're gonna have to take care of?
It's step one for me to purifying this great city.
I wanna ask him something with the intent of investigating.
Okay.
And the tag I'm gonna add to this is identify what matters most to somebody for struggle tag.
Sure.
I want to see if the genie matters most, or if it's what he's saying, if it's step one, or if it like is necessary that it falls first. Like, I don't know, maybe that's a little too specific, but I kind of want to see like
No, I see
how
where you're going with it,
forthcoming
and it
he-
makes
I
complete
don't
sense.
trust this guy, so
Okay.
I have no reason to at this point. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna add. Oh, I guess I have savvy and streetwise as well. Could I add that as well, or no?
Streetwise. I mean, yeah, you know his reputation, so yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's a 12 total. 6 and 4 and 2.
So yeah, you see right through this guy, and you've known Snyder to always be a straight shooter. He doesn't beat around the bush. He's very honest and very forthright. You're probably more confused at anything, wondering why he's willing to skirt the law now.
DA, huh? I heard about
Correct.
all that when I was in. You're really pushing for a big number in the city. Out of the blue. Why this election? Why not next one? Why not the last one?
I can't keep watching this city that I love turn to this ever-ending chaos, and the genie right now is a lead factor in it. I
you're
need him gone. It'll
offering-
make me look great for this race.
You're offering to hire a murderer. Is that gonna look good for your race?
What the city doesn't know doesn't hurt them.
And what's to stop me from talking to the city?
The same thing stopping me from violating on your parole for anything I feel like.
So you're blackmailing me.
And such an aggressive word. I'm simply trying to offer you an opportunity to clear your record, to be a free man, to not be inhibited by past indiscretions.
You and I both know I'm not guilty. I'm not held back by this idea of going to prison. I've already done some time for it.
Yeah, but you being a felon doesn't bode well when trying to improve your life.
I don't think you want to improve the city, but I'm also not going to let you sit around and do this unsupervised.
With your investigation, he is being forthright about improving the city.
I don't know if I like the way that he's choosing to go about it yet.
Right.
And I also don't like
That's
him.
understandable. That's understandable, but he does want to improve the city.
He thinks that what he's going to do is going to improve the city.
Yes.
Correct.
Colin, his investigation revealed that, like, what's the guy's name? Pierce believes he's going to improve the city. Colin could just be like, what you're going to do is not going to improve the city, regardless of what you believe.
Yeah.
Valid.
I don't think blackmail is the way to the top. But I also,
I've tried
again,
for 4 years to legally get this guy off the street, and I can't get close to him.
why not
I need
just-
somebody with a little dirt on their hands to get the evidence needed to remove him from the equation.
I don't trust you. You don't have my vote. I don't.
You're a felon. You can't
You
vote.
don't get a vote.
Yeah, okay, listen, you get what the sentiment is, though. Touche. I don't trust you, Snyder. I do want to see the city improved.
Good. The meeting's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Factory in the old district. There will be some others waiting for you there.
Okay.
And he's going to reach in, grab a business
I
card,
leave.
and hand it over to you.
No, I just leave. I don't like this guy. I'm dipping. See ya.
So we're going to close out this scene. Snyder's going to kind of like do that like hand pull back with the card and tuck it back into his breast pocket as he pulls out his phone. And so the audience shot is, I think we've got what we need to help alleviate the problem. The meeting's tomorrow at 7. We'll find out how well this team works together. And as Pierce hangs up the phone, a blacked out car pulls up next to the spot that he and Colin Blackfoot were speaking in. Pierce gets into the backseat as the car drives off. The scene is going to rise up, appearing, highlighting the neon pillars as they are such a focal point, almost a messiah of light and brightness in such a dark city that is Pandora. And what do you guys do leading up to the meeting tomorrow?
I'd probably make my way over to the foundry and have a little quick convo with Papa Bo, head of the foundry, and just kind of get some more insight on the genie and what he knows based on what's going on with the kids.
Sure, let's have that scene.
So
describe Papa Bo.
Papa Bo. Papa Bo looks like straight out of Oliver Twist. He's what's his name? Somebody help more literate than I. From Oliver Twist.
His name's Oliver Twist. We said this
No,
earlier.
not that guy. The other guy. The one that's like ahead of. He's got the ragtag bunch of kids. Like his mythos would be that guy. God, chat's probably blowing up, and I can't remember because I'm a dumbass. And I'm not Googling it because I'm going to live this punishment.
Googling it.
But he...
Is it
Foggin.
No.
Fagin.
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 It's like, fagin doesn't sound right. Fagin. Fagin. He looks like Fagin. So he's got a long trench coat. He's got... he's kind of got a vest on and a button up underneath. He always has a little bowler on, and he looks like he'd sell you some watches, you know, like but old school kind. Lift up in his trench coat, but he's old at this point. He's got some wrinkles all over, but they're from smiling because he's always got a big old grin on his face, And sometimes it's real, sometimes it's to misdirect you a little bit. But Papa Bo's always been good to me. He took me in when he found me about 8 years ago. And so I roll up to this giant warehouse. It's kind of dilapidated. It's got a steel door, and I do the secret knock.
As you open the cliche, like the little eye slider pops open, and it's not at a normal height. It's at a lower height, probably at your midsection. What's the password?
How's it going, Henry?
That's not the password.
Oh, come on, Henry. I was here when you got brought in. You know me.
Slams the slider shut.
I kick the door.
Slides it back open again. What's the password?
You're so good at your job, buddy.
These are your rules. I can't just break them because it's you. What's the password?
Shave and a haircut, 2 bits.
Slider shuts as the door begins to open as a small, dirty child who is on guard duty opens the door. Clothes tattered just a little bit. You could tell it looked like he was in a bit of a brawl not too long ago.
Boy,
In the
what happened to
background,
you?
just real quick, in the background, like in this, through a window or in the street behind you, there's just a single Raven drone that passes by. Not overhearing this conversation or the password or anything, but just to build.
They just regularly are flying all over.
Not all over,
Oh,
but
just
specifically in this
at the
district
foundry.
right now.
What do they look like?
Um,
Like they look like ravens, or are they like drones?
they look like drones. They look completely like drones, but
They're government pigeons. Don't let them lie to you.
Birds aren't real.
Birds aren't real.
no, I don't. Because while this is like sci-fi, futuristic, and everything, it'd be cool to like have full-on robotic birds flying around, but it's not. I have ideas for later on and character growth, so they don't look like that. Not at this
Okay,
point.
fair
anyway.
enough.
Okay.
They look like drones. They look like they look like drones, but orbs, like just kind of floating through the city, and they are a relatively common sight because I'm assuming my drones aren't the only drones flying around the city.
Definitely not.
But my like.
With Amazon.
So they look like other drones, just the orbs with the like cameras in the middle of them and like, neon lights glowing on them as they're hovering around with the little omnicopter hole in the middle of them so that they can like float up and down like a regular drone would.
So guilty spark.
But it's the only way you would tell that it's a Raven drone from the broker is if you like got close enough to see any of the symbols or whatever on it, and mine are specifically nondescript, but so nondescript that it's like, oh, okay.
That's the broker.
I know who this belongs to.
There's no logo. They're like the same matte black purple that would blend into the shadows, but like just to build the scene, like you and your crew may have even noticed that there's more than usual flying around the foundry recently.
I like that.
Not in areas that they shouldn't be. Not like making their way into the foundry. I don't want to.
Right, but on the streets patrolling.
As a player, I don't want to encroach on your safe area, but like in the streets around, just like gathering up what general information could be picked up.
Got it. Doing a good job, Hanner. I give him $1.
Thanks. Fuck, I lost his voice already. I think Papa needs to talk to you. You should probably go see him quick.
Oh, that's a good thing. I gotta talk to him. Hey, question for you. Anybody else go missing since a couple weeks ago?
I think Henry.
You're
is
Henry.
I am Henry. I think Tank has been gone for a few days, but I mean, Tank kind of leaves once in a while. I
That's
don't know.
normal for Tank, yeah. But
I mean, I think everybody else is accounted for. I don't
What
know. We don't
about,
really have like a roll call. Is that something new we got to start doing?
Oh shit, no! Trying to keep track of y'all is hard enough, let alone
Exactly.
getting
And you expect me to do it? I can't even get you to tell us the damn password.
You're doing a good job, buddy.
Yeah.
And
use the damn password. And Henry starts closing the door.
I'm outside.
No, I mean, I'm assuming you walked in at
I
this
walked in.
point.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I thought I walked in. And I make my way in, and this warehouse it's large, but there's like so many hallways that if somebody were to get in, they'd get lost. They didn't know where
It's like
to
a
go.
labyrinth.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
And there's like mattresses everywhere. There's just like little spots that a lot of these kids and people, young adults, usually they're kids and teens, just kind of make their own little space as the most space they have. And there's like little bits of food and games that they picked up and some shit walked by that I'm like, oh well, you fucking stole that, nice job. And then I walk into this larger area where there's this like rusty old iron staircase that leads up to kind of what would have been like the foreman's office previously. It's got like kind of an iron balcony that goes all the way around it, and that's Papa Bear's spot.
Okay.
I walk up the staircase and give a little knock, open the door.
Dell, my boy, I've been looking for you.
Papa, you know where to find me.
No, I don't.
Buddy, I got a store. It says Dell's.
When'd you get a store?
I've had it about a year and a half. Are you drunk? You're drunk.
I've had like 4.
Okay, well, pour me one. Let's talk.
Oh, yeah, okay. And Papa begins to look around his desk. And as you are kind of looking across the room, you see 3 or 4 empty bottles. Meow.
Don't worry, I got you. I reach in my breast pocket of my vest and with my teeth.
That
Pour open a
Henry got us a crate of some damn good. I don't even know what to call it. This is immaculate.
You know, with these kids, that shit don't last for long around here.
I hope he's not drinking this, cause whew.
We'll try a little bit of this. I take a swig and pass it to him.
Yeah, thanks.
Is that water?
Look, Henry said you had something to talk to me about.
Yeah. What did I need to talk to you about?
Pops, you getting old, buddy.
What did I need to talk to you about?
Well, maybe I start and it'll jog your memory.
Yeah. How you doing, Dell?
Doing all right, but I had a kind of curious visitor from the one and only D.A. himself, Mr. Snyder.
What'd the boys do now?
He didn't even want anything to do with the foundry unless I told him no, which kind of makes my skin crawl a bit.
So what he want?
He kind of... We might have a similar problem up our britches. He wanted to do something about that genie.
Jupio pants? Oh, yeah, the genie. Yeah.
Hey, I asked Henry if anybody else went missing since a few weeks ago. He said Tank's been gone a couple days.
That's Tank.
You're not worried about it?
I mean, we've only lost, 3 or 4 boys to the genie?
What's up with that? They come back wearing green as if they're in some sort of club.
I don't think the colors is what you need to be worried about.
But what do you got on the genie? What more can you tell me?
I swear that boy pulls stuff out of thin air, and I can't figure out how he does it. You approach the man, you tell him what he needs, and it's just there. It's like he's a magician.
Or a genie. Hence the
Genies ain't
name.
real, boy.
Right, you're right about that. Sure, right about that. Do you have any idea about where he's at?
Shit, your guess is good as mine.
Oh, any of
From
those
what I've
boys?
seen, the boys may know, but I mean, you just kind of wish, and he's just there.
Well, you seen them around? Hey, what's his name? Tucker? I heard he came back.
I think he came back to pick up his stuff, but I think he left.
You don't know where he's staying now.
I'm assuming with them green boys.
Is that what they're called now? The Green Boys.
I didn't name them.
Shit. Hopefully somebody came up with a better name than that. Well, it can't be too hard to spot all walking around wearing that bright-ass stupid green.
All I know, boys, you gotta be careful. I don't like the rumors that be circulating.
What rumors?
You end up in trouble when you deal with him. You get what you need, but then you also end up in jail.
Almost like there's a catch to every wish.
That's exactly what it's like.
Huh. Who is deep breathing in my ear?
It's me, your conscience speaking.
Wow. Could you...
It really is
My
you,
con-
actually.
It is
My
me,
conscience
yes.
is a mouth breather, apparently. Well, me and the DA and apparently some other ragtag bunch of boys about to go try to do something about this genie.
You sure that's safe?
Hell no.
Fuck him.
Do you remember what you were going to talk to me about, though?
Nah.
Well, listen. If you remember, and I pull out a business card.
The rent. I don't got it.
The rent for this place.
Yeah, the landlord's been up my ass.
Come on, Papa. That's what you got, this army of boys, and you can't scrounge out enough dollars for the rent.
They've been bringing back items, not dollars.
Then sell them and pay the damn rent.
That's why you in charge. Henry! Henry! Where's that boy at?
He's at the front door.
Tell him on your way out. The last goodies that they brought in, we need to get at least $5.50 for, and we'll be good.
Yeah. I pull out a wad of cash. It ain't $5.50, but I throw down $100.
You a good boy, you know that? And Papa's... and Papa's gonna drunkenly kind of walk his way across the office and wrap you in a massive bear hug.
And while he's hugging me, I just in his ear, Pops, you know I love you.
I wish he had two arms to hug me back, because this just feels incomplete. Was that rude?
Right in my open wound.
That shouldn't be open still. Is that not healed?
Oh. You gotta get your shit together, buddy. These kids
I
count
got
on
it
you.
together.
Don't let me down.
I've been taking care of these boys for 40 years. I got like FOMO in me. And then it's your turn.
Then pay the damn rent.
All right. Tell Henry to come see me on your way out.
Give him a kiss on the neck.
Mwah.
And head on
Be
out.
good, boy.
And I tell Henry on my way out. And
All right. Bye, Dale.
see you, buddy.
All right. Is anybody else doing anything before?
Yes.
All right.
I know I've already called for the most rolls, but I'm going to try and make another roll.
I don't
Okay.
even know how to roll in this game, apparently.
I want to research the fuck out of Pierce Brosnan, I mean Snyder.
Pierce Brosnan. How long were you holding on to that one?
As soon as you introduced him, I think he looks
Okay.
like I think he looks like a Pierce Brosnan Silver Fox
Sure.
kind of guy.
I like it.
And like the reason that they just use Pierce Snyder for his name in this movie is because it's just like Pierce Snyder playing Pierce Brosnan playing himself as Pierce Snyder. Like that's how.
Be right back.
All right. I feel like that's how he would be credited in the credits.
Valid. Okay.
I want to research the ever-living fuck out of this dude.
Okay, so what does you researching the DA look like?
It is a combination of using the internet and just like looking up, the internet, dark web, and searching up everything I can on him.
What are some of the search results that you came up with?
You
honestly, like
forget we make the story.
most of them are going to be like his rise to power as not power, but his rise to fame as the DA of Pandora, just because like the story of how this guy came from just being a lawyer up to being the DA and now wanting to become mayor, because I'm assuming like, yeah, he isn't mayor yet, but news of him, or at least rumors of him going to run in the upcoming election have to already be circulating.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it is major players in his rise to DA. People like, I'm assuming that it would be people like, whether they are criminals or political figures that he's interacted with, that he knows. Really, I want to be looking for his motivations.
Okay.
Like what drives him, what motivates him, why is he doing the things that he's doing, why is he so wanting to fix the city up, what big event happened that made him like go from just being a lawyer to having the drive to be the DA to being the mayor, to want to change the city so much.
Okay. So what power tags are you adding to said role?
Knowledge and how to use it from my turf theme.
Okay.
Know your enemy from the broker theme.
Yep.
And I'm going to tap into my mythos.
Okay.
And use Mimir's Well.
Ooh. Okay.
Because I want to know not just information-wise, like what's generally or even hidden in the internet. I want to know in depth about this person, because I have already added him to my nemesis list because he knows that I am the broker.
Okay.
And that is not okay with me.
I like it. All right, let's get that roll.
So that's going to be 2d6, and I get to
plus
add
3.
3. All right.
Yep.
That is 4 plus 3.
So
7. 4. So I rolled 2 4s. So 8 plus 3.
So 11. Okay. What does Mimir's Well look like? Because this is, I think, the first time we're actually tapping into the myth. So how does your unnamed mythos interact with getting this information for you? We know you're scrounging the deep well. My initial thought was we kind of have this shot of the dark web being a little bit cliche of just this dark room with information, zeros, and being passed all over the place, but a purple mist beginning to sift through lines of code and web articles, and you start getting into some redacted information. But that was my mental part. I'm curious to see what does it look like for you.
Yeah. I think for this one, for the mythos, like the investigation is a big thing. It's like this is a full day thing. So the first part is going into the deep web and trying to uncover that redacted information. The second one is taking all of this information and going to the park
Okay.
Like the woods in the Central Park equivalent of the city that the city has. And there is, I think, and we may have to redact this or retcon this, but I think in mythology, the tree Yggdrasil is an ash tree.
Let us. Oh god, I don't even know how you spell that.
What kind of tree is Yggdrasil? 2 G's.
And like a Y, right? It starts with a Y.
Starts with a Y.
I'm trying to figure out your mythos now.
Oh, you should know it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I believe it's an ash tree.
I think it means, yeah, well,
Central sacred tree of the 9 worlds.
so yeah, ash tree. Because the name of the tree itself, or if only the full term.
Yep, just a giant ash tree. A giant ash tree described in both the Poetic Edda and Snorri Sturluso's 13th century prose Edda.
Yep.
Yggdrasil stands the absolute center of the Norse cosmos.
So yeah, giant ash tree in the
Giant
park.
ass tree.
Giant ash tree. Giant ash tree in the middle of the park, and at the base of it is a pond.
Gotta make some quick notes here.
And to the average person, it looks just like a pond, but if you can see through the mist, you see that the person who sleeps on the bench near the pond in the middle of the park is not simply a wanderer who's parked up on the bench. They are in fact Mimir, a being who guards this pond and prevents anybody from drinking from it. And so Andresh will make their way through the park and approach Mimir and his well. And with all of this information that they've gathered, Mimir recognizes Andresh at this point, and so allows Andresh to walk forward to the pond at the base of this ash tree. And as I crouch down and take a sip, I mention, I whisper under my breath the name Pierce Snyder, and drink from the well of knowledge to try and gain whatever mystic or literally mystic knowledge there is about this person.
Would you like this information to come from Mimir, or would you like this information to just be imbued inside of you?
Imbued inside of me, because this is kind of like the variant investigate role of looking into the mist.
Okay. Well, let's step back just a touch, because I think it'd be a good scene to have you interacting with Mimir.
Sure.
So what time of day are you coming to what is going to actually be is known as Edith Park, which in the center of Edith Park sits...
Afternoon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
As you're approaching the park...
And isn't in the Neon Pillars district. There is very little, if any, foliage or plant life in the Neon Pillars district. So having to leave my own district kind of
Yeah, Edith Park is going to be basically the center of Pandora, highlighting emphasis here being Yggdrasil being, the Norse tree. So yeah, Edith Park is going to be dead center of the map.
Cool.
And then I believe we had it kind of predetermined that the neon pillars were in the southwest of Pandora. And then, like I said, Boser, you missed this, but at the end of every session, we're going to draw the map and continuously update it, upload it to Instagram of the city growing as location points become prevalent to the story.
Cool.
But yeah, so as you are walking through Edith Park, it's middle of the day. It's packed. You've got runners, you've got walkers, you've got people just kind of lounge around and flying kites, running, playing fetch with their dogs. But next to the pond, outside of this giant ash tree, there is a homeless man sleeping, covered in dirty trench coat, kind of tucked into the bench as best he can. And everybody just kind of keeps their distance from him.
Andresh will approach and just will drop a few gold dollar coins into the cup that, or hat or whatever that Murmur, the homeless man here, has next to the bench.
I was trying to see if I could fucking imitate Mimir's voice, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to.
But yeah, Mimir is the mythical being, but I have a feeling like to fit in with, the city outside of the mist, he would just go by Murmur.
Okay, I like it.
And
So yeah, you've had interactions with Murmur before because obviously, and as you approach, Murmur almost senses you coming, as at first what everybody else sees in the world is just a dirty homeless man kind of but those of you that can see beyond the mist, you see out of the top of his head two tiny horns peer out just beneath his little winter cap as he stretches away from bed. It's been a minute. Where have you been?
Busy. Very busy.
How can I help?
I have knowledge that is kept from me.
That's
that I need
unusual.
to know. And so I come here to ask for access to your well.
Can you spare a few coins?
And
I am a little hungry.
Andresh will pull out, rather than like paper money, it's gonna be the gold dollar coins, and drops like 10 into the cup.
I like it. No. Such a good man. Thank you. Thank you. And Murmur kind of just bows to you, gesturing for you to make your way.
And actually, because otherwise it wouldn't work, it would just be a regular drink of water. Andresh, like, after dropping the coins in there, Murmur will probably take the coins, tuck them into a pouch or pocket, and hand the dirty cup over to Andresh.
Ooh, that's very valid.
It's like an old McDonald's cup.
That's
right, yeah.
very valid. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, so dumps out the cup, kind of spits in and gives it like a once-over wash real quick with his dirty shirt. You'll need this.
Of course.
I need that back, though. That's mine.
And like outside of the mist, it looks like a dirty like paper
Crumbled
cup,
up McDonald's cup
that's just like stained at the seam because of how many times it's been refilled with coffee or booze or soda or whatever. But like through the lens of the mist, it still wouldn't look like anything special, but it does look like a pewter mug.
Yep.
And so
I like it.
Walk over to one of the stones that sticks out from the grass, just kind of over the pond a little bit, and I sit down at the edge and dip the cup into the water, look at the reflection of myself in the water, and while normally I still look like myself in the reflection, my right eye glints in the shadows. I hate this every time. Take a big drink of the water from Amir's well.
And as the water touches your lips, an overwhelming sensation collides into you as the mortal form of yourself is hit with intense sensation in every fiber of your being. But the mist that inhabits inside of you, that exists inside of you, calms the sensation as you begin to get an overwhelming feeling of information hit at you in quick succession. As you were making your Moogle searches, you coming up with the DA's information was a very easy thing to do. But as you switch to your torrent browser to get some behind the scenes look at some information that not a lot of many people have, you see black marker begin to rise off of these pages and kind of disappear as redacted documents begin to reveal themselves. And you begin to learn how Snyder is as successful as he is. And it's because he has a 97% success rate. He is a renowned lawyer. He's quick on his feet. He's personable. He is loved by everybody. And on the surface, you can't not like the guy. People like Colin obviously hate him because they put him in prison. But outside of that, Pierce is a straightforward guy. But then the redactions start to clear and you start to get some inside information being brought to your surface that nobody else knows. Pierce is an individual that has a way of gaining information that may not always be legal. Go ahead.
So just looking at I'm gonna call out mechanics here real quick because I was looking through this as we were doing Dell's bit. Investigate gives me clues equal to power, and I get to trade in clues 1-to-1 to ask you a question about the subject of my investigation.
Yes.
And since I rolled a 10, I don't need to worry about the investigation exposing me to danger, the clues being fuzzy, or having them find out stuff about me either.
Correct.
So I do have 2 particular questions that I wanted to ask, and I will figure once I figure those 2 out, I'll probably think of a third one.
Okay.
First, and if this is too big of one, I'll ask a more specific one. But what is Pierce's mythos?
Horus.
Okay. What was the event that caused him to go from I think there's even like a logos for that uses the term I'm trying to think of. It's like the
defining event.
Is there a defining event that made him go from just being that gave him the
where did his
motivation
mist come from?
Yeah.
Okay. So the motivation behind is one of Snyder's failed cases is an unsolved murder. Snyder was married and had twin girls, but Snyder was in his early years of being a ADA and was pissing off a lot of people along the way because he was determined to find the truth and bringing it to justice, no matter how it was done. And in doing so, pissed off a particular group who liked to send messages. And that group was the Demon Viper Brotherhood. Instead of taking out Snyder, they took out Snyder's family to send a message that you do not encroach on our territory and you do not take after our people.
So this was a murder case that he was trying to solve, and in doing so pissed off the Demon Viper
Brotherhood.
Demon Investigated during investigation. Pissed off Demon Viper Brotherhood, who was probably, they were probably the reason for the initial murder, but in him investigating them, they killed his 2 twin daughters.
And his wife.
Okay.
Damn. Hey, side question. Because he does have a mythos, those of us that are touched by the mist, which is all of us, would we have noticed anything about him?
Yeah,
would
so
he look
when
differently?
you guys... Yeah, so... when you guys appear on Pierce, he usually and it's how the mist works is it contorts as needed, so it's usually the physicality of himself reveals themselves upon power usage. So Dell, you would recognize that he is shrouded in mist, but he wasn't using his powers when he's speaking with you, so it wasn't very prevalent for you to kind of like look into who he was. Mm-hmm. However, Jeff says Andres would see that during the entrance of his home, I'm assuming he went back to watch the video. Mm-hmm. Entering his home was a finely dressed man, but with a bird head.
Okay.
Cool.
And then, final question. Horses is mythos. Failed case is the defining event. Final clue. Because this is going to eat away at me. What allowed him to get past my defenses, my security?
So he has, in his mythos, he has a way of accessing information that others cannot. So in his particular, he has a small scarab that when touching something will unlock any door.
Alohomora. That's it. Alohomora. That was an hour ago. That's that joke that I tried to land about Harry Potter spell. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
That is what my day is spent doing. And then going to the meeting point, if you'll allow it, Andres won't actually show up to the meeting, but instead will have a drone be there while they are close by.
Okay.
Very on brand.
Yeah.
Very on brand.
I don't see why not. Very fitting.
Cool.
All right. Lucas or Alex, did you guys have anything you guys wanted to do before the case tomorrow?
I do have just a little housekeeping that I'm going to be doing. Before, I'll probably stay at the office. I probably won't go home afterwards, but I'm going to open my drawer and I'm going to be pulling out. And as I'm getting ready to leave, I'll throw my badge on. Got like the keys for like handcuffs and like other stuff. Put my gun in and kind of get settled. And you guys will get to see what some of that stuff might do.
All right. So that's just kind of your just little cut scene for downtime in between.
Yeah, still investigating. Maybe I'll have a handful of papers that I'm gonna, like a little notebook that I'm gonna bring with me. I'm gonna stick in my back pocket and just kind of put the rest of these things on me, because I'm very excited for you guys to find out what they are.
Okay. And Colin, are you doing anything before the meeting tomorrow?
It is too late in the night, or maybe too early in the morning, when Colin Blackfoot leaves his apartment with nothing but a shovel and a coat on, and walks out to a park. He's got clothes on underneath, but I'm just saying visually this is what's most important. He walks out to a park, to a tree that's got a couple of initials carved into it, and at the base of it he slams the shovel deep into the earth and starts digging, and does this for a good 5-10 minutes until there's a several foot deep hole in the ground, and he looks into it and begins to sort of hear the whisper from something that he buried there a very long time ago, and he reaches in and he slowly says, we've got work tomorrow. And pulls his relic from the earth before returning to his apartment.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
That's so fucking good. I love that.
That's cool.
Alrighty, so it is 7 o'clock. We are in the old district in the factory, a shutdown technology factory that was just kind of producing microchips and anything technologically based. But with it being in the old district, getting adequate workers there was a difficult thing to do, so it got relocated towards the neon pillars where technologically it made more sense for this place to be, and the replacement factory flourished over there. But in turn, this factory has become more or less desolate. And I'll let you guys establish how you come to the meeting.
So I come roaring in on a motorcycle.
Ooh.
That's sick.
And
Hold
pull that
on.
up.
How does your motorcycle operate? Because if you have one hand, it's either the brake or the clutch. So are you only using rear brakes?
Well, I might have retro worked it a bit and put it also. I got the throttle, throttle. I got the throttle, and I've put the brakes on the same handle, and I got real good at turning. Use your body a lot.
This is so. I love it.
And to the naked eye, it just looks like a cool, like almost World War II style motorcycle. But to those touched by the mist, you can kind of see some extra working, some extra gear, some places, some extra little fun bits that might do a thing or two if they were activated.
That's cool.
But I know I'm only a couple blocks down, but just in case I need a quick getaway, I
Fair enough.
roll up in my motorcycle and I pull up to the side and just walk on in and find a crate and sit and wait. I get there about 10 minutes early.
Yeah, as you actually walk in, though, there is a singular light coming through a hole in the ceiling of the factory. And standing just in the light of it is Pierce Snyder waiting for you.
Yeah. You know how to be dramatic, don't you?
Just wanted to make the meeting point well known and established.
That's cool what you're doing there. That's a good spot. You're standing there at the light. It's cool.
Glad to see you decide to take up my offer, Dell.
Well, you didn't leave me much of a choice, but let's pretend I did.
Let bygones be bygones, as they say.
Am I the first one to this party?
I mean, technically I was first, but yes, you are the first to arrive.
How many we expecting?
Hoping there will be 4 of you total.
feel like
Whether everybody takes me up on the offer, we'll see.
I feel like Andres has been like watching this place all day, and he's thinking, "No, I was here," or they were thinking, "I was here first, actually." By several hours.
Yeah, cut to Andres just like up on a rooftop looking at the expanded smartwatch display. Just sure you were.
Yeah.
What time of day is this again?
7 o'clock at night.
Is it dark, or is it like fall or like winter hours where 7 is like the sun has already set and been?
It's still fairly light out. We're probably, I wouldn't say like peak summertime, but it's still enough light out at 7
The golden
o'clock.
hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sun is getting low in the sky.
Take your selfies now, kids.
Sun's getting real low.
I think like a couple minutes, unless you're gonna be on time, Detective Cooper. But a couple minutes after 7, Colin walks up with like a 4-foot long package wrapped up in like some like thick. It looks like he's delivering. I was gonna say something really bad, and then I remembered that this is watch by people. He's got like a very large. It's almost like one of those like tubes that artists will like use to transfer large canvases. It's kind of like that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Size. I guess wrapped up is the best way to describe it. He's got that like
Okay.
strapped across his back, and he's wearing a very colorful cardigan.
Oh, okay. And you said you're coming a little after 7 o'clock?
Yeah, I think he sort of like did a walk around the block and then realized like nobody else is here, so I'm gonna just kind of walk around for a while. And because
Doesn't want to be the awkwardly early
yeah,
one.
he doesn't want to be like super early. Heard a motorcycle and was like, that's cool. And then he's gonna show up a few minutes later.
Okay.
One day maybe.
One day.
Yeah. I'll probably come in pretty close to on time, and I'm just gonna before I get to the building, and then I'm gonna look down at my badge. And guess what, guys? The badge is glowing a little bit. I go, all right, well, it must be here, and I'm gonna make my entrance and. Say,
What kind of car do you drive? Or vehicle, I guess.
Oh, I just got some POS Crown Vic.
All right.
Look, it's the cities. I don't pay for gas. Like it's.
I respect it. Andres, when does the drone appear?
As soon as Pierce says, well, we're waiting for one more.
Okay. So yeah, that's where we'll pick up then. So Detective Cooper makes his way into the warehouse. A few minutes later, Colin makes his way in. I expected one more. It appears that they will not be attending.
Static disrupt, and you hear the sound of a walkie-talkie turning on. And you see, oh, I've been here. We can proceed when you're ready. As the drone
I'm shocked.
As the drone just rolls out of the shadows and then starts hovering.
Ah, shit. We're working with robots here.
Yeah, sure looks
What was
like
that?
it, doesn't it?
Just yank out my notebook and be like, that's very on brand of you. Can't
Pleasure to
Hey,
see
Cooper.
you again, Detective.
Yeah, pleasure not seeing you, as per usual.
Looking good as always, Cooper.
I know. How are you?
Oh, I'm just peachy.
As the MC, I don't know what their backstory is. I could not wait for this shit to be revealed.
I'm sure you're doing just fine. And
Everybody else knows each other here, or
Colin, how's living on the outside?
do I know you?
No, but I know you.
Peachy.
Shit, you been in the slammer, huh?
We're here for a job. I'm not really
Look, it's fine.
keen to get to know people.
Oh, well, damn, that's my specialty.
Now that we're all on the same page of who is who, before the job is established, consider this a tryout. There's a case that needs resolved that Cooper and one of his partners haven't been able to crack quite yet. So we're gonna test it, see how good you guys are. And Pierce is gonna pull out several folders and hand them out to the three of you. As he kind of reaches one towards the drone, I guess I'll email this to you and kind of tucks it back in. There's been several murders in Eldritch Park that Scarlett O'Hare has not been able to resolve. Detective Cooper here has not been able to resolve. And I believe with the unique skill set between the four of you, you might be able to resolve this issue that is plaguing our city. If this goes
murders.
well. Murders, yes.
Any of them young kids?
No, I can't say there is, but we also have a hard time determining anything about them, being their faces been removed and their bodies have been shredded to pieces.
Well, damn.
Evidence
Looks like
is few and far between these carcasses.
What's the total count?
3 so far. Seems to be in every 2-week time frame. So I'm assuming the next one happens within 3 days.
Do we have any leads?
Happens at the park, happens at nights, and it's a gore fest, but nobody can seem to catch the circumstance when it happens. You guys know how big the park is. It's not really a set location. It's just happening at the park.
We're talking about
Any
Edith Park.
Edith Park, correct.
Any relationship between the victims or witnesses?
Their locations all seem to be the high-rise in Uptown, but from what we can tell, there's no correlation between any of them.
Any
I
common
got some
denominators?
kids.
Sorry, what was your question, Alex?
Any common denominators? Wealth, work?
I mean, they can afford to live in the high-rise, but one's a... Oh, let me actually pull this case file up here. And if I get the time, I'll actually make a full case file for you guys.
Cool.
First victim was Samit Maxim, a Middle Eastern man, from what we could establish from left of his body. Tall guy, average build. He was a pharmacist, drives a Tesla. After that, our second victim was Tony Aylin. She was
Can you spell that last name?
Ailin.
Ailin. Okay.
She was a tech lead at one of these local tech companies, drives an SUV. Our third victim was Hemming Torsten, a screenwriter, drives a Cadillac. So we can tell they've got some money, but outside of that, don't really have anything that connects any of them.
One question: what is a Tesla?
Electric self-driving car.
Yeah, so you
So
still
I
need
don't.
No. Before you, yes, you do. You need a
Self-driving.
license. So, yeah, still driving.
Self-driving. Got it.
Yeah, but you still need a license. And let me be honest, I can't afford it. I don't know what you've been doing since you've been out, but I don't think you are either.
Yeah, the Blockbuster doesn't pay that well, believe it or not.
There's like one of them, so.
You work at Blockbuster?
If I don't get done with this job in time, but not for too much longer, but
Buddy, I got bad news for you. Have you heard of Netflix?
pulls out a little notebook. Can you tell me about that after we get information?
That's a later problem. Yeah.
We had, I think that was one of the things that the prison started integrating, and then obviously things kind of went to hell. So like,
Yeah.
You might just want to keep your options open. All right.
sure.
So we know they're from the high rise in Uptown. Do we know where exactly?
One lives on the 4th floor, another on the 12th, another one on the 25th.
Okay.
So listen, you think these people had some dealings with the genie, as if they had their wishes come true?
Oh, this has nothing to do with the genie. I just need to test if you guys are worth your salt. You help PPD, then we can work on the genie.
I thought we were here. You brought me here to talk about the genie.
I brought
No,
my
this
notes.
is how he works. He brings you here under a false presumption, a false pretense. He gets you to do something,
Yeah.
and then next week it'll be another thing, and then it'll be eventually he'll get his job done, but not before he's gotten your use out of you. So
Why do you can tell me these things, because then I can bring the appropriate shit, and I'm gonna just put my notebook, because the genie notebook, I'm just gonna put it in the fucking back pocket and be like, not everything has to be a mystery, you know, like.
Let me cross off case 1, genie.
Yeah. Alright.
What's this pay?
A job is what it pays.
We're doing your job for you. You get paid.
Technically,
We
you're
get
doing
paid.
his job. He cannot solve this case.
Okay,
Great. So
hold
we're
on.
supposed to do your job for free.
Hold on, you're not. don't put that evil out there. All right.
1099 once you're hired, but
That tells me I doubt I'll be
That's-
getting one, but
What do we get out of this?
I told you, a job, and then I don't deep dive into any of your histories. I need to know if you're worth a damn. I've seen what you can do on paper. I need to see what you can do in the field.
Yeah. Look, Colin, you get a job and an alibi. You'll be fine. This is good for you. Dell? He can stay. It's totally up to you, man. Yeah.
This man's coming after my family to do his damn job.
Again, he can't solve the case,
Oh.
not me.
Again, put that evil on me again. I swear. I'm just resting, like, get all big iron right on my hip. I'm like, I will fucking beanbag around you right now.
you said he's coming after your family to get you to do this job, so he's blackmailing you too.
Oh,
Anybody
hell
else?
yeah.
Anybody else getting pressured from an authority figure here?
See, look, now they hate you, and they're gonna hate me. This is great. Real conducive to a very team environment. Way to go.
Pierce is going to walk over to you and smack you on the shoulder. Yeah, good luck. Fill him in. And he's going to turn and head out of the factory.
Alright, he's leaving. I'm like, look, guys, look, I don't particularly like the guy either. But he's got me in more ways than one, both in this kind of instance and also back at work. So I understand you're frustrated. I understand he can be an ass. Let's just do this, and then you can take the job or go your other way or whatever. The sooner this is done, the better.
I agree.
Yeah, it sounds like an illusion of choice to me, but it's fine.
That's just life, buddy. Like, we do not.
So it seems like we have.
Oh, go ahead.
It seems like we have our first lead, though. We need to stake out. I was thinking we need to stake out the park.
So naturally, I have been doing this a little bit. It's not like I just gave up immediately. I can tell you this: the park at night can be sick with the mist. Not like no Dell, not like actual mist, but like what makes each and every one of you special. That thing, yeah.
Oh, you think I'm special?
You're special on a couple of ways, buddy.
Oh, don't you know it?
Yes, something that I myself wouldn't normally handle at work, and it's starting to flood into work. And there's a lot of questions that need to be answered that I am not at the liberty to give the normal public. Hence the need for help. We all kind of clear on that now?
Loud and.
Crystal. So first, the park or the high rise?
Who are you, by the way, Mr. Robot?
I am the broker. I don't
Yeah,
do
and
well person to person.
Well,
And the
keep your little birds away from my family.
no promises. As the drone just kind of backs up to create the circle of the four of us.
And on that note, I think that is where we draw our pilot episode for our City of Mist campaign
Right.
to a close.
We finally meet.
Cool.
So are all of us, again, just to kind of make it canon, is it only when we're using our powers that, like, to us touched by the mist would notice anything different, or is there always something kind of like almost like a glimmer? Is there?
There's always kind of a glimmer, so you can recognize who is touched by the mist, but if they're just kind of moving about their day, they are going to be their physical form. The mythos reveals itself, which dictates the mist to have to shroud itself from the sleepers. So if they're not doing anything that invokes the mist to be enacted, they're just kind of walking around as themselves. But those who can see the mist can see that the mist kind of trails after everybody that is touched, because the mist has to act at a moment's notice to cover up what is being hidden by to the rest of the world.
So as soon as we all entered, we can kind of tell, oh, okay, we're on
Correct.
Team Mist.
Yep. You guys have all been affected long enough to recognize the little key signs to know that you guys are all touched.
Okay.
I love being different already. Just ever so slightly different.
So yeah, I guess you guys would recognize that the detective does not have the same markers that you guys do.
So, there's actually a beautiful thing for this. I have a hat, right? My hat. If you see me a little nudge it, you kind of notice I get a little fuzzy, but then it kind of goes back to normal for you guys. For the normal, like, sleepers, they just, for some reason, can't remember my face.
Oh.
It's called...
And we will dive into that next time.
Good fun.
I like this game already.
It is fun.
Hell yeah.
We're
The
getting
rules
rolling.
make it seem way more complicated. It's just
No,
like talking.
We all
You know what I
knew.
mean?
We
Yeah.
all knew once we started rolling into it, it was gonna get better. So
No, true.
The big
I'm
thing
sure-
I'm worried about is trying to figure out combat, but we'll cross
That's the
that bridge
thing.
when we
Yeah,
get
once we
there.
hit combat, I bet that's where the rules come into play a little more.
and we'll be right.
But maybe that'll happen next time. Maybe we'll just have more roleplay. But there will be more questions. There will be less answers because there's a whole fucking campaign coming, and who knows what the fuck's gonna happen. So until next time, I am T.
I am
am-
Boser.
Oh, sorry. I am
He's-
Jeff.
You
Sitz.
are sorry.
We
You
haven't
Sorry,
started
are
order
Boser.
yet.
sorry.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Lucas.
And you guys just keep
Geeking
geeking
out.
out.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.